Morning, everyone. It's Bronie here again for another day in Bronie's world. And at Bronie's desk this glorious Tuesday after Australia Day long weekend, we have the amazing Fred Van Liew, also known as the Water Doctor, joining us again today. I love having Fred on my program. Probably don't have him as often as I would like, but he's a very busy man. But he has some really good, unique ways of helping people with their health. But what I love most is, and if you saw my post about Fred, I found a little info on him yesterday, and I had no idea that what got him into searching about water and the bad things in water was after he nearly lost his third child to something in the water. That's I forgot what. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. We all know there are lots of things in the water that that they add to our water that is not good, and so that's it. We are grateful for people like Fred Van Liew, like Dr. Joel Wallach as well, who have seen the effects of something and think, hang on, something's not quite right here, and they do the science, they do the research, they do whatever it takes to get the answers to either save themselves, save their children in Fred's case, and to save all of us, humanity. So with no further ado, Fred, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Well, I
and I
appreciate
didn't even spotlight us.
Well, I appreciate it, Ronnie. But I've known Dr. Wallach for over 4 decades. And I do remember the first time I interviewed him on my radio broadcast, Your Health, Your Choice. And I was called and would I interview this Dr. Joel Wallach? I didn't know who he was at the time. But I agreed. I asked a couple of questions and I was impressed with the answers. The lady that booked him with me. But after an hour interviewing Doc Wallach, I was blown away. I said, Doc, I'll set up your first lectures here in Dallas, and I'll invite my doctors and my radio listeners to these lectures. So we filled the room, and ultimately I did 4 of those for him, each time interviewing him on my radio broadcast, and he's just absolutely blowing us away. But I still had no idea of how vast the knowledge of this man was and his full credentials. You know, he's a little more open about it now than he used to be. And you'll excuse me, but my nose is itching. And
oh, isn't that just the worst thing?
yeah, it's dry. You know, it's very cold here, so it was dry, and it gets me. It's just especially on on Zoom. You know, here we go.
Hello, Fred. You're human,
Right?
but don't do that.
Well, it's better than doing this, you know what I mean? All right, everyone is shut off. No, the thing is, I'm 73. I've never been happier. That's true. Never been happy with my life. I have physical things that aren't cooperating as much as they used to, but it doesn't matter. It's all from the neck up, and it's about the people, and it's about our growth. And you know, when I got really super, super mad, when I did my research and bought the best water filter I thought that there was on the market, because I did the research, I didn't realize how much people lied yet. And this filter, they lied about what it would remove, and even talked about it remove fluorine. Well, fluorine's a gas, which I should have known. They don't find that in water. It doesn't remove fluoride, and it didn't. And that nearly killed my 3rd child when he was born. And there were heavy metals in the Grand Prairie water. No one knew except the old timers that all 3, I think it's 3 wells in Grand Prairie were built over what was a toxic waste dump. And of course, they had heavy metals galore. Fluoride was 2.8 parts per million. And, you know, they 0.8 is where they put fluoride, and it still shouldn't be in at that. It's just an incredibly toxic carcinogen and sets off your thyroid like crazy. I mean, it's just the rarest cancers known are triggered by fluoride. And all of this is in Fluoride, the Aging Factor with Dr. John Yelmianis, who also was a dear friend. We respected the fact that I looked for truth. I didn't look to market, I looked for truth. And I
Mm.
shared the truth as I found it. And if I had to change that or alter that, I would. But I'm pretty thorough, especially when I get mad. And I was furious. My son, my wife would have to sleep at the foot of his crib, wondering whether he's going to wake up in the morning. He couldn't even tolerate mother's milk. And this went on for several months. His teeth were very late coming in, and other babies born about the same time in the Grand Prairie area because of our church there. The mothers had distended bellies, hair was falling out. The children would be, their teeth would come in and then fall apart like salt pillars, and it's just horrible stuff. And, when I, uh, had the water tested, it showed that the filter wasn't removing the fluoride. And then I got 550 pages of court cases on uh, court case down in San Antonio where they were trying to raise the fluoride levels from zero point 0.6 parts per million to 1 part per million. It already had zero point 0.6 naturally, and it's just this was when they were just finding ways in all the major cities to dump this toxic waste from the manufacture of aluminum and or with a washdown, which is the sodium fluoride is from the manufacture of metals, and the hydrofluosilicic acid was from the raw washdown of the smokestacks from the uh, phosphate fertilizer factories. And it is so corrosive. If a tanker spilled it on the highway, it only took minutes for it to eat through 4 inches of asphalt.
Wow.
But they would dump that raw material into our drinking water. Absolutely horrible stuff. And Thurman,
Killing
Maryland.
us from the inside out.
Thurman, Maryland, old cities have lead pipes. And Thurman, Maryland had to shut down their fluoridation pumps to repair, for the repair of the pumps. And when they shut down the pumps, the lead levels went down like 73% on the drinking water. And at least for a while, they didn't turn the pumps back on when they saw that. See, the hydrofluosilicic acid, as it says, it's an acid, is very corrosive. And it just, and the made up story that it makes your teeth stronger. No, it makes your teeth brittle.
Mhm.
That's what fluoride does. And that is, and if it's put on topically, which is the only way you should ever use it, topically on your teeth, it's still, children have died because they swallowed that fluoride treatment while it was being given to them. And
Mm.
it's just plain nasty stuff. Now, that's on the drinking water, but we're a lot of people understand that and people can make their own choices. There's enough information, you decide, although it is difficult. As COVID showed us, we were lied to, then lied to, and then lied to again. And they're still trying to lie to us. But at least we now hear the muzzles are off and we can tell people, should you get this weaponized, any version of this weaponized uh, uh, flu, a cold flu, it's bacterial and viral and weaponized. Well, I know how to deal with the flu. I know how to deal with a cold. And once I realized what it was, weaponized or not, I got over mine in 3.5 days. Now, 3 miserable days. Well, Bronie, have you ever had the flu? Was it fun? No.
I have
Did you ever?
not had that flu actually for many, many years.
Yes, but did you
But
ever
I did
have it?
not get the crapola flu, no.
And did you ever have the cold? Was it ever fun? No,
Yeah,
neither one is fun, but they scared us all into thinking that what was normal was killing everybody. And you had to go in an incubator and they wouldn't give you what you would give for the flu, which was, anything viral. You want to use the magne, yeah, magne, no, my
lots of
mind just,
vitamins and
zinc,
minerals.
I'm
Zinc,
sorry, zinc. Zinc
zinc,
is so, and yet the hospitals refuse to give the patient zinc. And not
See.
just 20 milligrams, it's got to be 400 milligrams per day. But they refuse to give what they would normally give to someone who had the flu. And the same with the cold. They withheld the treatment because they're getting paid $43,000 for every patient that they could list as died from COVID. course, heart attacks cease to exist. Uh, even suicides ceased to exist. Everything was COVID. And in some cases,
Same
on a
here in
single
Australia.
patient, they could collect up to 90 some odd thousand. So why am I bringing this up? It's because there's a lot of disinformation and misinformation out there. Now, one of those is right now with 5G and the 50,000 plus satellites that are roasting us with microwave and the smart meters and Wi-Fi routers, the billions of cell phone, yes, billions of cell phone calls that are going through our bodies every minute of every day. All of this is microwave. And you say, but is it the same microwave that cooks a hot dog or that heats up the water or your coffee in your microwave oven? Yes, smaller doses, but times thousands and thousands, nonstop, 24/7. When you go to sleep, your brain is not able to think about what you need. Your brain is trying to survive. It is being assaulted by all of this while you're trying to sleep. And this is chaotic, very chaotic. Well, it takes coherence to sleep. So, any of you listening, you might wonder, okay, so why am I having trouble sleeping? Well, it's because your cell function has been beaten down. When the cells feel threatened, and 5G threatens you big time, 50,000 satellites ramped up to the hilt threaten your cells big time. When they feel threatened, they go from parasympathetic, which is chatty, chatty, doing whatever they're assigned to do, whether it be the toe of the brain, and they shut down and they're waiting to feel safe. An example, we mentioned heavy metals before. So here comes a heavy metal, and here's your cell, and the shell goes, well, the heavy metal goes by with all the free radical activity around it. When the heavy metal is past that cell, the cell goes, oh, okay, and it comes back. But they don't shut down 5G, don't shut down those satellites. So your cells are shutting down to the sympathetic. They're not going to pee, poop, or eat until they feel safe. And that has gone on now for years, ever since 5G came out. It started before, but 5G knocked everyone down. And it's just amazing how, when you really look at where COVID sprouted up in the countries, and this, it was in the cities where 5G was put in first, knocked the immune system function way down, flattened you out, no resistance, and then they used the swabs that actually inserted the COVID bug in your body. Yeah, some people still don't understand that. They actually had doctors who, under a microscope, could see the little wiggly organism on the end of those swabs from China. So, these are the things we weren't allowed to say, we weren't allowed to bring out, and no one has to believe any of it. I don't care. I just want the freedom to share it. And if you wish to believe, fine. If you wish to protect yourself, fine. And we now have a president that says it is up to you. If you want to go get a shot, get it. But if you don't want to get it, you don't. He's reinstating all our military folks that were smart enough to not get the shot, but they were immediately dismissed. And we had how many hundreds, if not thousands, of our military die after taking the shot? There are people should be in jail. And like Doc Wallach says, those who are protected, they can kill people. Dr. Fauci is a mass murderer of the worst kind. No one has ever killed as many people in such a period of time. And yet he's been given shelter. He's been given immunity. We'll see if that holds. He's a liar. He has made millions of dollars killing people. And he's now on our government pension program at a higher level than any other government employee has ever had. This is wrong. So, Bronwyn, what does that got to do with what you're talking about? I'm just saying, you're lucky to have Bronwyn because she's bringing truth out to you that many won't do. But so what are you going to do? You can't shut those satellites off. What are you going to do? You can't stop 5G, and they already got 6G and 7G ready to come out. They got to figure out what to do about them turning leaves brown, though. But there's kids, I'm sure. What are you going to do about billions of cell phone calls going through you day and night? and Wi-Fi routers and smart meters. This has all been designed to control and snuff out a large percentage of the population without a world war. And when it wasn't working so well, they're trying to start a world war. Well, not with our president now. You watch, this nonsense is going to stop. And it has to. But meanwhile, what are you and I going to do? You're not sleeping well. Any of your new customers, they're not sleeping well. They're tired during the day and they know they shouldn't be. Nothing to do with their age. And they probably have touchy digestion and they don't know why. In fact, most nutritionists, naturopaths, and certainly medical doctors don't have a clue why they're so tired. They just can't walk around saying, you know, I'm exhausted. I'm about to operate on you, but I am so tired and I'm sleeping terribly. They can't do that. But it's a fact because it's hitting the entire population of the world. Our Earth is blanketed now with these satellites roasting us with microwave. We are literally sitting in a microwave oven. So you have to protect the protection. I'll mention that in a minute. But more importantly, immediately, you've got to get your cell function turned on because if you have a sleeping army inside you, which are your cells, they make up your immune system, your immune function. If the army is asleep, does it matter how much food you put next to that army? The answer is no. Does it matter how much armament you give that army? No, they're asleep. First thing we have to do is wake them up. Bronie knows one of the only ways you can get those cells to wake up. You can't go to your naturopath and have them wake up your cells. They don't know how. I know how to do it energetically on a Zoom, but even that's temporary for about 2 weeks. I'll get you sleeping that night, but I'll get rid of all your past traumas, negative emotions, any spiritual interference permanently down to the DNA. Not energetic aspirin, the real deal. But not nearly as important as maintaining that cell function and getting that cell function permanently up. So you're going to see me take drinks out of one of my mugs.
I don't have one of those mugs yet.
Oh, it's a Quanta mug. And I have a smaller version, 13 ounce, which you just saw there was a 25 ounce. I have a 35 ounce, really heavy. I don't feel like shipping those to Australia. It costs you a lot of money with the shipping. No, I would. But the difference is the larger the mug, the more mass to the mug, the faster it will energize anything. So I'll take and put like a shaker either on or in any of my mugs and energize whatever you have in your shaker in 3 to 5 minutes, depending on which mug. And for the rest of the day or 2 days or 5 days, it'll stay energized. What do I mean by energized? Well, what this 5G is doing, and there's no water you buy in the store, there's no water you're making in the home that's coming into your house, purified or otherwise, that is now in a positive energy. It's all negative energy. All of it, the same overwhelm that is crushing you and your health, your immune function, is crushing every living thing on Earth, the plants, the animals. But people don't think about that. You go into the supermarket and you're buying food and it has negative energy now. It's supposed to be bringing energy to your body. Your water should be living water, not dead, lifeless, negative energy water. So it's again up to us. So we have Quanta water. And of course, do I have Quanta water right here in front of me? Let me see. No, of course not. I used it up and didn't replace it here. So, Bronie, no, you don't have Quanta water there, do you?
We don't have Quanta water down under, but we do have this little guy.
We do have Harmony drops, right? So that's what I'll be talking about. So the Quanta water, I normally have someone sip every 30 minutes. Harmony drops, very convenient. You can have in your purse or your pocket all the time, because if you want to raise your cell function 2% per day, you have to use a timer, whether it be a phone. I don't care if it's an egg timer. There has to be a timer. If you got a really good friend that'll always walk next to you and when the time comes, tap you on the shoulder. No, I'm kidding. But while you're awake, people will say, do I do this while I'm asleep. No, it's while you're awake. And you take your Harmony drops, and every half hour per 100 pounds of body weight, you do this. I require 2 drops. And for a second, you rub. That just popped my cell function up like a cork to the top of the surface. And it slowly comes down, but never quite as low as it was. And so that will get you up about 2% per day. Now, since most men today are at a half of 1% or below, most women are a quarter of 1% or below. That means they have 1 in 400 of their body cells and commensal cells that are even showing up for work. Now, if you had a business like Bronwyn, she has a business and she requires 400 employees and she pays them every week, but only one shows up every day. How's her business doing?
Not
Not
so
very good.
good.
Doesn't stay in business very long. And that's how so many people today, they wake up in the morning and they feel like, man, I don't feel like I'm in business. Some of them, it's so bad. It's not just why am I getting up? Why am I staying on this planet? And if they didn't
Mm.
have purpose, if they didn't have family, if they didn't have kids, they wouldn't. They'd leave. And I understand. So you want to have a dream. And I'll tell you, the most fun person to be dreaming with is Bronwyn. Have fun with this gal, but you're the ones that are on this. And, it's where to go. But then you got to monetize. She can show you and put you with the people that can show you how to monetize who you are, what you are. Be who you are. Don't try to become Bronnie. She's unique. God, is she unique. And she's like me. You don't want to be Bronnie. You don't want to be
Thank
Fred.
the Lord for that, because
Yeah,
he made me that way.
you are unique. You are also unique. You want to grow you. You want to be the best you. And today, you want to embrace who you are, because if you can't embrace who you are with all your faults and strengths, why would anyone else? So you wake up and you say, I love me. Thank you, God, for making me who I am, but I want to be better. So you work on being better tomorrow. But today is all you have to work with. Kind of like your finances. You know what I mean? You can want to buy everything I'm going to talk about here, but if you don't have the money, you can't do it. So what are you going to do about that? You're going to keep moaning and groaning. Oh, I don't. Some people do that. Oh, I just don't have the money. And a year later, oh, I just don't have the money. Other people say, how much do I need? Okay. Well, let's see. What am I going to have to do to make more money? And after all this inflation nonsense that's global, and we were horrible here with the last administration we had here, horrible. 30% of people's income, they're paying their mortgages with credit cards. Oh my God.
Mm.
Interest on interest, and everyone's credit cards maxed out. Terrible situation. Gas prices literally quadrupled. Now they've come down some, but never not as low as they were. But we will get them back down. But a horrible mess created. Don't do that to your life. I once asked Kevin Trudeau, what do the really wealthy people? And I was his first mentor when he was 15. But he became my mentor by his late 20s. He's a brilliant guy. And just, was going around, flying around the world with this super wealthy. I said, what do they do to, in effect, you know, hide their income or, whatever? He said they don't. They have lots of lawyers. And if taxes go up in their country, they just make more money. They pay the taxes because if you don't pay the taxes, you go to jail. So their response is if you need more money, make more money. And if you need better health, then you have to do the things that will support your body. Obviously, if you have health challenges, there are things you've done and are doing that aren't contributing to your health. And you need to listen to Bronie and her guests, even me. You don't want to become a source, but you want to know where the sources are. I'm a source. I am the world's leading expert when it comes to anything to do with water, its structure, its energy, all the different purification methods. In fact, Bronie may want to put it in the notes where highenergyhealing.com, highenergyhealing.com. That is where she would, I'm raising my own hand. What am I doing? I'm looking for uh, sharing. Now, why is that? Anyway, I'll have that here. Okay. So, um, I'm sorry, just give me a real quick section here.
I don't know if I've got it correct. Is that right?
Yeah, let's see. High energy, healthing, not healthing,
Oh,
healing. High energy
I
healing.
think it just went and changed itself on me.
I was trying to, put, so I could see people's notes, and I could only see them when they put them up because I'm not showing that here. Usually, if I can't, I go to,
Healing, Healing. I don't know what it did.
okay, yeah. So
Is that, did I get it right? Oh,
I don't
got
know.
it.
Oh, there it is. Chat finally showed up. Okay, there it is. Now, high energy heal. No, you're healthing, healing. Take the TH out of there.
I did it
She's
again.
done it the second time, but the first time
Oh,
was wrong. The second time's right.
It
you can
just,
remove that first time.
oh, well, I'll probably, yeah.
Yes, to the
I'll
right of
figure
it.
that out how to do that.
To the right of it. Go up there and to the right of it, and you'll see you have the option and the three dots.
Oh, there you go.
Click,
Found it.
click the dots and edit or remove. There you
There you
go.
go. Never knew that button was there.
On there, you can download my book on adrenal exhaustion and chronic fatigue and get a lot more information. In every word in that has been carefully gone over a coffee table with another doctor for weeks so that it will hit your ears properly. And there isn't an extra word in there. It's not a big book because it's not just in a bunch of junk in there to make it look impressive. I wanted you to have the information. It's been revised 4 times. I even predicted the COVID, how they were going to do it, what they did, and I didn't remember that I put it in there. And someone actually read the book and told me, Fred, do you realize you said what it is, what they were going to do with it? And I was like, whoa, I had even forgotten because it's a God thing. But you will get more answers in that book, highenergyhealing.com, The Adrenal Exhaustion and Chronic Fatigue, How to Stop the Nightmare. Free download, free. Don't spend $24.97 on Amazon, US dollars. It's not the updated version. This is the updated version. Gift it to anyone you want to understand what is going on, what you need to do to restore your health. And it's the updated version. It has Doc Wallach's information in there in many cases because he's just, his brilliance is just incredible. And after you download it, there are 4 short videos. So I may goof this whole interview up, if you call it an interview, it's just a diatribe here. But in there, there's a chapter, or that first video rather, in the book, there's an entire chapter on water. And you won't find a more accurate description of all the basic ways of filtering water, what each does and what others won't tell you, what each doesn't do. And that's important for you to know because it nearly cost me my son's life. Now, that first video goes over this electromagnetic overwhelm, what it's doing, how it's crushing the cells, what you need to do to protect those cells, and then the second, and that's a 15-minute video. The others are just 12 minutes approximately. So a total of 4 videos, less than an hour of total viewing, and the other 3 deal with the nutrition. How do you, build the body back up? How do you then maintain that? And then how do you make it a permanent part of your life? All of that in under an hour. But that first video is the most important. You want people to understand what they can't see, feel, or touch other than they know the effect of it when you point it out, because they don't know why drinking that rebound without it being energized, or the Beyond Tangy Tangerine without it being energized, minimizes how effectively the body could absorb that nutrition. Oh, there you go. Right. So I was
That's
about
what
to,
I do.
I
That's
was
what I do.
about,
I had a couple of drops.
I was about to test it, Bronie, to see if you did that, but now you've already done it. But anyway, so yeah,
I
see,
actually added to my when I'm filtering my water in the
so
filtered jug, I add it to that as well.
6,500 is neutral. The water coming into your house about 2,300 after you filter it and before it stays negative energy. Yours right there, what you're drinking is about 40,000. Now that used to be enough to support your cell function. And it certainly is enough. It's hydrating. It's in a positive range. It's not pulling you down. But at 40,000, it's not enough to counter this overwhelm.
Mm.
The mug, what I'm drinking, is 255,000 bioangstroms. She's got 40,000 with the Harmony drops, and that's what I use when I leave. I don't bring my mug because I would leave it in the restaurant. I used to do that. I have to go back. And one time, four of them were standing there, and in front of their greeting desk and saying, "You looking for this?" And it's kind of embarrassing. And so I just always brought my Harmony drops after that. And use a drop per 4 ounces of any liquid, soup, whatever. It'll make a huge difference in taste as well as neutralizing free radical activity and especially hydration. So you're in the middle of summer over there, I believe, and we're here freezing over here in winter, right?
Yes,
And
that's correct.
staying hydrated is essential. So along with sleep, hydration is the least costly part of your health routine. But when your cells are shut down, nothing works. You can try to lose weight when your cells are all shut down and your body doesn't give a hoot. It's hard to lose weight when you're in negative, when your cells are in a negative function, because the body is in extreme survival mode. All right.
Yeah.
So Diane, interestingly, is at 11%. That's very hard to be there without using Quanta Water or the mug. But perhaps,
I'm
Diane,
going to add her to spotlight.
do you have Harmony drops, Diane? Have you ever used Harmony drops? I'm just curious. Or do you go out in the sun a lot?
Unmute yourself. Unmute
What's that?
yourself, Diane.
Self, Diane. You have
Go
to unmute
unmute yourself. Take your mute off.
Yeah. And I don't know hand signs. See the red?
Yep,
There you go.
got it. I've got underground water. I'm on
You've
a
got what?
property. I'm a farm girl and I have underground water.
Yes, but your underground water.
It's been tested and it's filtered, and
Right.
because my husband.
I'm talking about the energy.
Yes, yeah.
Possible. Okay, but so your groundwater, think about that.
Mm.
Now, it's under 3,000, so it's less than half of what neutral would be. It is still negative energy. But you're a farm girl. Are you outside a lot?
I am, and I milk goats, and I run a full holistic house.
Okay, so it's being out there. The sun is a great source of energy, and most people aren't out there enough. Like Bronie avoids it like the plague because she's got such fair skin. No.
Love being in the sun.
So, but I'll be making an offer that will be hard to refuse, and I better get more focused here. But I love what I do because I want people to understand how important this is. Diana, you're able to utilize nutrition because you have to be at 4 or 5% for the body to willingly give up cells that are being used for your survival. And anything below 4%, it says, I'm not going to do that. And that's why, have you ever started anybody on these products and they kind of got loose bowels or diarrhea, or they told you this doesn't work for me, my body doesn't like it? Okay. So Granta says, yeah. And Grant, you've heard me before, so you know why, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard you before. And
Yep.
well, I thought it was because the nutrients were a bit strong and just blasting their way through.
Digestive system.
Nope. That's why they created 2.5 and 2.0, because they thought, no one was having a problem with the original Beyond Tangy Tangerine. For years, no one was having a problem. All of a sudden, they're having a problem. What changed? Beyond Tangy Tangerine? No. Something going on in the people. But before I came on board, and it took a few years to get it through in terms of the understanding, and that's still limited because this is a strange subject when you're used to chemistry. And we're talking about energy. Our own FDA doesn't like energy. My Harmony drop, they have macro minerals because they can be found. And the FDA, our FDA, wants there to be something in this. If it were just energy, they'd freak out. They're saying you're selling blue sky because they don't know how to measure energy. Now, there are tests. If you ever take any of my training, like muscle response testing, there are tests, top of the head like this right here. These are points. And muscle test, people go weak on those immediately. You put 1 drop per 100 pounds of body weight on the back of that person's hand, they rub it for a second and retest, everything is cleared and strong. 1 drop. How does it do that? That's the power of coherence. So the reason these people are getting loose bowels and all is because the body's perfect intelligence, every cell has DNA, and God has put perfect intelligence so that DNA knows exactly what is bad for you and what is good. And when you take that tap water and bring it towards the chest and it's going, no, makes the body go weak because it's trying to say, please don't do that. And then you smell the volatile, and that's trying to, it smells so bad it doesn't want you to drink it. So you hold your nose, or you put it in the refrigerator so you keep the volatility down. Then you drink it and it tastes so bad, but you chill it in the refrigerator to kill your taste buds because they'd stop you from drinking this. So we bypass every defense mechanism the body has to put this crap in our body called tap water. But the cells are trying to tell us, because they know, they don't lie. They don't know how to lie. And when they respond with a negative response, they go a little weak. And that's why muscle testing works, because those cells make up the muscles. And the muscle goes weak. Do you ever know that? The muscle goes weak because all the cells have given a negative response, which, if you look at a small child and you say, no, 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 Sammy, and watch his chest just cave in a little. That's what the cells are doing. So they all go weak and the muscle goes weak. When you go, yes, 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 perfect, Paul, and the chest goes out, the S starts to form on his chest. All those cells are getting strong and they make up the muscle, and the muscle gets a little stronger. It's subtle, but very, very consistent if you stay out of the way, which is what I teach. Just learn how to stay out of the way. Accept the body's responses. Don't impose what you think the body response should be. We all have learned how to lie. Our body cells and their body cells don't know how to lie. That's the beauty. And they forget nothing. Everything is imprinted there. So they know everything that's going on has gone on. It's just a wealth of knowledge that makes you look brilliant if you learn to test and listen. So again, why is it so important to get that cell function turned on? Well, with those harmony drops, by the 3rd day, you'll be 4 or 5%. If you've been using those drops every 30 minutes using a timer. Oh, if you don't use a timer, you will fail. You can ask Bronie, do I like failure? No. I will send my East Coast Mafia all the way over to Australia to beat you up if you fail because you don't use a timer. It's a joke, folks. But it is very disappointing for me. And because I can test you even if you are on the other side of the moon, because your body gives off those frequencies, I'll know whether you use those. Oh, we're getting an echo. Someone's got 2.
Yeah, we are getting an echo from Grant.
Grant, I think you just turned 2 devices on. Okay, yeah. Make sure only one has the mic on. So
Naughty.
Now you have
I muted you, Grant, because it was echoing.
Unmute if you have a question. Go ahead.
Excuse me, Fred. I mean, my best friend gave up on longevity because of that reason, and he couldn't get past it. And it's probably been it's a big issue for me. I just thought it was because he was overdoing it. So what you're talking about is, and I missed the last little bit because.
And here's the thing, even Dr. Glidden and Dr. Wallach, when the people weren't responding because the body was throwing the nutrition away, because it will not let those cells that it's already using for your survival work with the nutrition. The body doesn't think about tomorrow. Dr. M.T. Morter, best doctor, he was a dear friend, and he taught the body will let your arm fall off if it thinks it will allow it to survive another day. It doesn't think about, well, how are you going to get food to your mouth without that arm? So that's your problem. So the body wasn't designed to be healthy. The body was designed to survive. It's your job to be healthy. So what you do is you get your friend. I would go and listen with him on a computer or on a cell phone too, that first video, not the testimonials, but that first video after you download the
I
book.
know the ones. I've got the book and I've downloaded and watched the videos. Yep.
So you haven't watched that first video, and let
I
me
have.
explain.
Yes, I have watched it. Yeah, but I
But
didn't.
has he watched it?
No, he hasn't watched it. No.
You see, if you don't share, you don't give them the opportunity to say no, but you also never give them the opportunity to say yes. You've got to be willing to hear no to get a yes. If he really is a friend, you just have to say, what's his first name?
Michael.
Marco.
Michael.
Okay. Okay, Marco.
Michael. Michael. Michael.
Sorry.
Very common.
M-A-H.
M-I.
I know. It's a Michael. Michael.
Michael.
I'll learn how to speak properly. But Michael there. Okay, so,
Michael.
Hey, Michael.
Mike.
I finally found out why so many people seem to have a hard time initially on the products. Would you like to know what I found? See, don't throw a pie in his face. Make him ask. Make him ask.
Can I add, because I've got some Harmony drops, can I add Harmony drops to the normal bottle that we make up?
Absolutely.
Will that help?
Only if you want it to be more readily absorbed, much more hydrating, and in a positive energy range to help support your body.
So
but if you add the Harmony drops, these are great questions. If you add the Harmony drops to that drink and think that by drinking the drink, it's going to raise your cell function, hard to dilute it. So this is the way I explain it. A jet liner, does it use the gasoline you put in your car?
No.
It uses jet fuel, high
aviation fuel.
And you don't get down the runway by playing with that throttle. You push that throttle through full force, and then you go down that runway and you do not pull back on that throttle, and you lift off and you don't pull back on that throttle. You're sucking down that high octane fuel and you're going up, but you keep that throttle. And when you hit 26,000 feet, then you slowly pull back. Now you're able to coast on fumes using almost no fuel at all.
My friend Michael's a pilot, by the way.
The Harmony drops are that high octane fuel. Your mug or putting the Harmony drops in your beverages, that is your fumes. That helps to keep you up. But the drops only get that liquid to about 40,000 bioangstroms. I had to make my quantum mug 10 times more powerful. This is now, it takes the liquid that I'm drinking here to 255,000 bioangstroms. Your Harmony drops, like the quantum water, are in that neighborhood of 2.76 million bioangstroms, jet fuel. This gets it to 255,000, which I'm saying that is the fumes. Do you think 40,000 are fumes? No, it's very low octane fuel. It keeps you from getting sucked down, but it won't bring you up. And it won't even allow you to keep up there. You will still go down with just the Harmony drops if you're putting them just in the drink. So you have to either keep buying Harmony drops, which you can do. The problem is you're not in my team, and I give all my products to Longevity at cost. My manager and my team at eWater do not like the fact that I did that. But that is why my product is affordable, because I make no royalty on my products except in my own organization, the same as you get. And I make no profit on selling to Longevity because I didn't want to be in competition with them. I wanted you to get it at the same or better price than if you buy it from me. You understand? That's what I did. Now, there are people who don't believe that, and that's fine. But my products are affordable, and there's nothing like it with any company. No one has a product. They may make some claim, but when you know how to test, you'll realize they're lying through their teeth. And if there is a great product out there, I want to know. I test, and there aren't many. But getting your cell function, you have the ability to do that. Now, if you start everyone on the Harmony drops, in addition to whatever protocol you've chosen for them, and whatever CEO pack you've chosen for them, You start them with the harmony drops and we'll get them back in there. And Bronwyn, I'm making an executive decision here.
Are you?
Uh-huh. So I told Bronwyn, and there's so much more I want to share with you, but getting that cell function turned on, I could share with you the absolutely miracles that I had my own uncompromised private labeled nutrition line. And trust me, it was uncompromised. And I got results, and I've been turning around the big C and, fibromyalgia and all long before Doc. With, my not, Doc's always been doing it. I was just saying I was doing it before I learned from Doc. But it only took me 2 years with longevity for me to give up my entire line of nutrition because, well, first of all, when I joined longevity now 13, 14 years ago, they had 600 products. They now have about 2,500. But what I saw is they would, even with companies, they have about 47 companies have folded themselves under longevity because we're so well managed by Steve Wallach. He's one of the top CEOs in the world. I call him number one, but everyone calls him at least in the top 10. And so these CEOs of other companies would fold their companies under longevity's umbrella. So Steve had all the headaches and they get back to the fun part. You and I have the fun part. It's dealing with the people. That's the aggravating part and fun part too, because you get to help them if they want to be helped. Our people skills are learning how to help people overcome their biases, their past failures, their stupidity. People had to do that for me. I wasn't a gift or, I wasn't a gift when I started 47 years ago now. Almost a half a century I've been in this industry. But I worked my tail off. It's just so much easier now. So what I'm going to do, because the focus here, you have, Bronwyn has other guests that isn't Ben Fuchs amazing? She has guests that they can tell you everything about the products and this and that. I deal with protocols. I deal with solutions. I don't sell products. I don't like selling, but I provide complete solutions. So my average sale is anywhere from $600 to $800 first month. Now it goes way down the second, third month. That first month, they've got to get their body turned around. And I make sure they know what to do. And if they don't want to do it, that's fine. But I don't want them to say, well, if you'd only told me, it's like, if you'd only shared with me that you were going to make all this money with this longevity, why didn't you share it with me first? And you're like, well, you're my sister. I didn't want you to be angry at me. Well, you always share it with the people that they deserve first refusal. Learn that. They deserve the right of first refusal. Write it down. Teach your people to say, look, I'm calling you because you've earned the right of first refusal, because you've gone with some things with me before and they didn't work out. You're my sister, so you have the right of first refusal, but I really want to share with you what I'm doing. And it's okay to say no, but you've earned the right of first refusal. That's how to get them to be open. It works. Got 2 more minutes here. Okay, so.
Yeah, you're the one who has to go somewhere else.
Here's what I'm going to do. What am I going to do? First of all, the new eCrystal has replaced the 2-inch eCrystal, refrigerator eCrystal has replaced my egg, the refrigerator egg. This is powerful, easier to ship, not affected by X-ray or any of that. Same price, unbelievably powerful. You want to protect your body? You want to look into the Amber Shield. All right, you want to look into the Amber Shield. It is the ultimate protection from every negative source of energy that affects your body, including 5G. There's nothing that provides that 90 to 96% protection. And as long as you're within 2.5 feet of it, although on your body is best when you sleep with it in your pillow, your dreams change. Your brain is not fighting for its life. It's actually in a vacuum, energetic vacuum, and going, oh, who's this? Oh, this is Bronie. Wonder what's going on with Bronie. We haven't been able to check that out in years now. Are you getting me? You're getting me? You want your body working with the nutrition. Nutrition alone is not the answer. You have to have the army awake, and they have to have the energy to do something. Then you provide the bricks and mortar. So, people say, well, is Quanta Water all I need? I say, no, the Quanta Water doesn't bring any nutrients ever to the body. It just makes it possible for the body to utilize those nutrients. It makes it possible for the cells to do what they know how to do. I was doing a 42-day fast. I did 28 days on just energized water and minerals, the plant-derived minerals. That's a true fast. Minerals and purified water that's energized. No nutrition, whatever. On the 28th day, I'm teaching my course. I don't know if, and I don't think anyone here was on that. I'm teaching my course on a Saturday morning.
That was it. I was there.
Did you see me fall off my chair?
No, you did. That was when I was on there the first day. I didn't see the second and third.
Oh,
day,
you
so,
did. You did the month fest.
yeah.
So you went the next day. So the next morning, I'm like 15 minutes into it, and all of a sudden I just literally fall off my chair. I'm like, what? My body on the 28th day exactly said, enough, you're stopping. And I barely crawled into the bathroom right across the hall. I happened to have the new Rise, which I hadn't tried yet because I was fasting. Frustrating when you know, this new Rise, which you don't have, is the first 10 out of 10 product I've ever tested. It is that good. So anyway, I mixed up a batch and I drank it. Literally within 3 minutes, I was sitting in my chair teaching effortlessly that Saturday and then not that Sunday. These are extraordinary products, but you have to have your cell function turned on. But even with the cell function turned on, there's nothing wrong with my cell function. You know, I've done a 42-day fast, but that was years ago. And I'm thinking, oh, this 73-year-old body won't have a problem with that, whatever. Lasted 28 days. All right, so what I'm going to do.
And in front of everyone, too.
So I am going to make an offer. I'm going to make an offer to ship you. The price I'm going to give you will include the shipping. Now, any duty over there, if you get any hit with any, is going to be up to you. But I will ship you my 13-ounce mug for the cost, because it's $119, usually discounted mug. And I will ship this over to you for that $119. I will cover the shipping, which you know is not cheap to Australia. But this is a last minute edition. Since you don't have the drops, but you will have them, I will send you one Harmony drop if you wish to spend $20 more, a little less than you pay over there, a Harmony drop. And that combination is going to make all the difference in the world to how your body is responding. And so write it down, 119 US. Now, if you wish to order two, it'll be $199, and I will still pay the shipping. $199 for two. And I will put a Harmony drop in each one of those mugs at $20 each, if you wish. This is just, I don't sell in competition with Longevity, but since they don't have them over there, you need them.
Yeah, we're out of stock at the minute. Still waiting.
Yeah, so it's entirely up to you. That is the offer. $119 for one, $199 US, and you're about a 1.6 exchange rate over there. Bronie and I had checked that out yesterday, but I didn't tell her I was going to make the offer on the Harmony drops. So it's just an offer. You don't have to do it, but you need the mug. Now, if you want to go with a larger 25-ounce mug, it is more expensive to ship. It is heavier. It's wonderful. But that would be, do I dare do that? $129 plus the ship, and I will handle the shipping on that. So one's $119 for the 13-ounce, $129 for the 25-ounce mug, and I will cover the shipping. And I will put the Harmony drops in that mug as well. So any questions here? I'm late for my call, and but I'll be on there here.
Well, that's pretty amazing, Fred. I feel very honored that you have offered that.
So I want you to
tell me about the bigger mug.
I want you to get with Bronie, and if you trust her with your credit card, which you most certainly can. See, if I take your credit card, I always warn you, don't worry about the extra charges. That's just my Mexico vacation fund. But yeah, if you give her your information, make sure it is clear, the shipping address, the billing address, if it's different, and your credit card number and what you want. and I will make sure these go out as quickly as possible. Now, if 10 or more of you within this next week order through Bronie, and she's earned it, I will send her a mug at no cost. She has always wanted a mug. She cares about you. She does not monetize, does not ask you for money, does not ask you for support. And I beat her up over this. So I will donate Bronie and the shipping if you choose to help get the word out there, and she gets an order for 10 or more of these. All right. So I'm giving up the chunk of the profit by paying for that shipping, because I know it's not cheap shipping to Australia, but I'm trying to take the bite out of it for you. All right, Bronie, I got to get over to my call.
Yeah, you better get over to your call. So with that, we'll cut this out and we'll go. As I ask you nicely here in Bronie's world, to stay safe, stay informed, be empowered, but do not live in fear, my friends. And when you're getting this harmony dropped and the mug, you too will be powerful, beautiful, brilliant, and most definitely very brave. And thank you very much, Fred, for everything and for sharing that. And I will put the as much details as I can in the replay, because you need their name, a shipping address, email, probably phone number too.
My phone number and email here if anyone needs to contact me directly, and I will support you in any way I possibly can. But Bronie is the best, and I do truly mean that. We all adore her, but you're all right. I will see you. I gotta
Okay, thank you. God bless. Catch you all again.